Welcome to the 2026 AIA New York State Excelsior and Professional Service Awards. Tonight, we celebrate the people and projects that improve public life across New York State. Thank you for joining us. Think about the places we use every day: schools, libraries, parks, civic buildings. The settings that support work, learning, gathering, and rest. For 12 years, this awards program has recognized publicly funded projects across the state. These awards highlight thoughtfully designed buildings and outdoor spaces, and the professionals who make them possible. This year's projects demonstrate a thoughtful response to context, strong technical execution, and meaningful impact for the people who use them, from historic preservation to new construction and renovation and additions. The jury looked at each submission with 3 practical criteria in mind: firmness, ensuring sound architectural and engineering principles and responsible use of public resources; commodity, creating spaces that are truly functional and have a positive socio-economic impact on their communities; delight, achieving beauty and harmony through respect for context, a focus on human scale, and a deep understanding of the needs, both spoken and unspoken, of the people who will use these spaces. Over 12 years, the program has honored over 100 projects that add value to everyday life in New York State. Tonight, we celebrate the teams who envisioned, designed, and delivered these public places. Let's introduce the recipients of this year's AIA New York State Excelsior Awards. The Bank Lofts in Richfield Springs, New York, by River Architects, received a Merit Award in the Historic Preservation category. This adaptive reuse rehabilitated a long-vacant 1880s bank in the Village Historic District and transformed it into a 14,787 square foot, fossil fuel-free, energy-efficient mixed-use building, combining municipal, commercial, and residential programs. The ground floor delivers roughly 2,400 square feet, configured for retail or service tenants, and is currently leased by the Village to house municipal and court offices, placing civic services in a central, walkable downtown location. The upper floors contain 9 market-rate apartments, including 2 studios, 5 one-bedroom units, and 2 two-bedroom units, plus an accessible ground-level unit. Residents benefit from basement storage, off-street parking, and a landscaped courtyard that introduces daylight, ventilation, and outdoor amenity space. The conservation approach retained and repaired character-defining fabric, while enabling structural and systems upgrades. Approximately 60% of the timber framing was repaired, replaced, or reinforced. Masonry was cleaned, repaired, and repointed, and original interior elements, including mosaic tile floors, marble baseboards, bank teller partitions, cast iron radiators, and a 1914 poured concrete vault, were conserved and integrated into new program spaces. Mechanical and electrical systems were specified for all-electric operation, including variable capacity heat pumps, CO2-based domestic hot water controls, high-efficiency ventilation with heat recovery, and a rooftop photovoltaic array sized to reduce grid load. Envelope improvements enhanced thermal performance, while preserving exterior masonry character. Public investment through New York State Energy Research and Development Authority programs provided approximately 24% of construction funding, enabling deeper energy upgrades that would otherwise have been cost prohibitive. By pairing preservation with high-performance systems and public use, the project addresses rural housing needs, restores a Main Street landmark, expands municipal access, and provides a replicable model for climate-forward rehabilitation of historic buildings. The Bayard Cutting Arboretum Visitor Center in Great River, New York, by MBB Architects, received a citation in the new construction category. Sited beneath a mature oak canopy, This new visitor center operates as a low-profile, highly legible gateway to 691 acres of trails, wetlands, and historic gardens associated with the former Cutting Estate. The building is organized around a restrained rectilinear volume with a pronounced overhanging roof that shades full-height glazing and frames axial views into the arboretum. A steel-frame structure wrapped in continuous glass provides transparency between interior exhibit spaces and the surrounding landscape, while warm maple ceilings and oak millwork create a tactile backdrop for programs about trees, ecology, and landscape history. Entrances on 3 sides and clear accessible circulation allow arrival from multiple directions, enabling the building to act as a porous threshold rather than an imposing terminus. Broad eaves reduce solar heat gain on glazed facades, improving thermal performance while creating sheltered exterior areas for interpretation and programming. A rooftop photovoltaic array supplies approximately 20% of anticipated energy demand. The site design prioritizes canopy protection and root zone preservation through limited excavation, targeted tree protection measures, and careful coordination of basement construction to avoid compaction and root damage. Upgrades to parking, lighting, and accessible pathways and stormwater management improve arrival, safety, and ecological function, while minimizing visual intrusion. Materials and detailing are restrained, so the building defers to the 1880s manor house and the larger historic landscape. The visitor center balances environmental sensitivity, accessibility, and interpretive function to create a durable, low-impact facility that enhances public engagement with the Arboretum's plant collections and natural systems, while accommodating high annual visitation. The Justice Sonia Sotomayor Community School in Yonkers, New York, by KG&D Architects, received a citation in the new construction category. This 95,000 square foot pre-K through 8 facility is Yonkers' first new public school in more than 20 years and serves 675 students. The design organizes classrooms and specialized spaces around generous circulation zones that function as informal learning commons, supporting collaborative pedagogy and flexible instruction. Classrooms include makerspaces and adaptable furniture. Color-coded wayfinding supports inclusive navigation. The main cafeteria and broad circulation areas encourage informal group learning, social interaction, and cross-grade mentoring. A separate community building expands the school's civic role by housing a gymnasium, multi-purpose meeting room with stage, and a health suite equipped for exam and dental services. These spaces are configured for evening and weekend community access to support recreation, wellness, and civic programming. Sustainability is integral. Green roofs provide stormwater mitigation and outdoor learning opportunities. Rooftop photovoltaic arrays reduce operational loads. Extensive daylighting strategies improve indoor environmental quality. And energy-efficient mechanical systems and low-emission finishes further lower energy use and support healthy interiors. The building is used as an instructional resource for environmental stewardship. The construction program emphasized inclusive economic opportunity, engaging a diverse workforce and significant participation by minority and women-owned businesses and laborers. Named for Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor, the school embodies values of equity, resilience, and civic service. Functioning as both an educational institution and a community anchor, the facility relieves local overcrowding, expands access to health and recreational services, and models resilient, community-centered public architecture that supports long-term student well-being and neighborhood engagement. The Glens Falls Events Downtown Center, the ED, in Glens Falls, New York, by Envision Architects, received a Merit Award in the new construction category. Conceived as the centerpiece of downtown revitalization, this multi-use event and market center anchors efforts to activate South Street adjacent to the Three Squares Historic District and catalyze complementary development. The architecture establishes a contemporary presence through bold massing, articulated materiality, and careful siting that complements the historic downtown while creating a visible community hub. The core event hall is a 6,000 square foot flexible interior that opens with 19 overhead tilt-up doors to create seamless indoor to outdoor transitions and expand the usable footprint to approximately 34,000 square feet for markets, festivals, and large civic gatherings. A clear story introduces abundant daylight and reads as a luminous beacon at night. Biophilic principles inform interiors with natural timber finishes, inspired by native Adirondack yellow birch, split roof profiles that add spatial variety, and abundant daylighting to support occupant well-being and connection to local agriculture and nutrition initiatives. Green infrastructure strategies manage stormwater on-site, reducing runoff to municipal systems and protecting adjacent properties. Passive ventilation strategies, energy-conscious mechanical systems, and a high-performance envelope reduce operating energy demand. Design and construction efficiencies were achieved through BIM coordination and precise glulam fabrication, which reduced waste and life cycle cost while enabling tight tolerances. Durable, low-maintenance exterior materials were selected to ensure long-term resilience. Since opening, the center has hosted an expanded farmers market season and diverse civic programming, becoming a recognizable community asset and a catalyst for downtown economic, cultural, and social life. The Academy for Personal Leadership and Excellence in the Bronx by Grand Kriegel Associates Architects and Planners received a Merit Award in the New Construction category. Located steps from the historic Grand Concourse, this 6-story elementary school provides 650 seats for pre-K through grade 5 and transforms a previously underused site into an active educational campus. The building occupies a compact 30,000 square foot parcel with a 13-foot elevation change. The design resolves grade through a double-height lobby and sculptural open stair that connect 2 street-level entrances and establish a civic entrance sequence. A continuous glass railing through the lobby incorporates a detailed map of the Grand Concourse that marks the school's location and reinforces neighborhood identity. The academic program includes 25 classrooms, plus dedicated art, music, and science rooms, a library, fitness facilities, and a combined gymnasium and auditorium that support curricular and community use. Pre-K and kindergarten classrooms are positioned on accessible lower floors with direct outdoor access. Older grades use a larger schoolyard, and a rooftop play terrace provides secure outdoor space for younger children. Ground-level assembly and flexible spaces open to neighbors after hours, and a redesigned adjacent basketball court serves both students and residents. The project meets New York City Green Schools guidelines, incorporating daylighting strategies, efficient mechanical systems, and durable finishes to promote healthy learning environments. By expanding local school capacity and providing shared civic amenities, the Academy for Personal Leadership and Excellence strengthens neighborhood cohesion and serves as a long-term community asset. St. Philip Neri Apartments in the Bronx by Think Architecture and Design received an Honor Award in the New Construction category. This paired building affordable housing project delivers 186 units across 2 complementary towers of 14 and 12 stories, sited adjacent to the late 19th century St. Philip Neri Church. The design treats the pair as a family of buildings and employs a 2-zone massing strategy. A lower folded wall, up to 9 stories, clad in light brick and a recessed darker brick volume, set back behind the folds to achieve zoning bulk and unit count, while reducing perceived scale. The step massing intentionally steps down towards the church to preserve pedestrian sightlines to the stone steeple and to respect the historic neighborhood. Wood-clad entry pavilions at diagonal corners provide transparent, welcoming thresholds that lead into interior circulation, lobbies, public spaces, amenities, and a landscape communal garden. Facade tones, masonry textures, and material choices draw from the adjacent church to reinforce contextual continuity, while generous setbacks create planters along the full street frontage to improve the pedestrian experience. Internally, the buildings provide a range of unit types, accessible design features, durable finishes, and building systems intended for energy efficiency and long-term maintenance. Landscaping and site work enhance connectivity and safety along Villa Avenue. The project responds to local affordable housing need while integrating civic presence and thoughtful architectural expression that reinforces neighborhood character. Pan American Square Apartments in Buffalo, New York by SWBR received an honor award in the new construction category. This 174,000 square foot affordable and supportive housing development transforms a long-abandoned rail corridor into a resilient, service-enriched residential community comprised of 3 linked 4-story buildings connected by pedestrian walkways. The development produces 150 units including studios, 1- and 2-bedroom apartments, and a substantial allocation of service-enriched units. 100 units dedicated to individuals with mental health diagnoses or transitioning from being unhoused, including 80 single-room occupancy units. The design integrates on-site social services and 24/7 staffing to provide case management, healthcare coordination, transportation assistance, independent living skills training, and daily meals prepared in a centralized commercial kitchen. Furnished units with inclusive utilities, flexible communal lounges, and universally accessible circulation reduce barriers to stability and support resident autonomy. Environmentally, the buildings are certified to FEIS Passive House standards and employ all-electric systems. A high-performance envelope, energy recovery ventilation, and efficient mechanical systems that reduce energy consumption by approximately 75% relative to conventional construction. Materials and detailing emphasize durability, healthy indoor air quality, and maintainability. By combining trauma-informed design principles, integrated social services, and high-performance environmental systems, the project converts a neglected corridor into durable social infrastructure that advances housing stability, public health, and neighborhood revitalization. The Frederick Church Center for Art and Landscape at the Ohlona State Historic Site in Hudson, New York by Architecture Research Office received an honor award in the new construction category. Architecture Research Office was engaged to design the Frederick Church Center for Art and Landscape by the Ohlona Partnership, the private nonprofit that partners with the New York State Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation in the operation of the Ohlona Historic Site. In addition to significant public funding, the project is the largest capital investment undertaken by the Ohlona Partnership in its 50 years of existence. This 4,600 square foot interpretive center uses mass timber construction to create a materially and visually integrated threshold to Frederick Edwin Church's Ohlona estate and the Hudson Valley landscape while respecting views to and from the main house. The building sits nestled into a wooded slope and connects directly to Church's carriage road and lake, minimizing visual intrusion and preserving key sight lines. Exposed mass timber framing, wood siding, and bird-friendly glazing were selected to reinforce material warmth, reduce wildlife collisions, and blend the building into the landscape. The program includes ticketing, exhibition galleries, a multi-purpose room, a cafe, terraces, restrooms, and accessible paths that link visitors to the larger cultural landscape. The all-electric building's energy use is offset by a nearby solar array as part of a broader low-carbon operational strategy. Construction sequencing and limited excavation were used to avoid root zone disturbance and preserve mature canopy. Site interventions were minimized to protect reforestation and stewardship work, integral to Church's legacy. As the first mass timber New York State public building, the center demonstrates a durable, low-carbon approach to public architecture that deepens public understanding of Church's artistic practice and landscape stewardship, while providing accessible, interpretive amenities integrated into the historic site. City of Beacon Fire Department, a legacy restored in Beacon, New York by Wendell Mitchell Associates Architects, received a citation in the Renovation Addition category. This comprehensive renovation and expansion consolidated 3 historic fire companies into an upgraded Lewis Tompkins Hose Company station, replacing a constrained 1970s facility with a fully electric, resilient headquarters designed to support continuous emergency response. The site was reoriented to a wider roadway and a deeper apparatus apron to enable safer vehicle staging and more predictable movement. Interior planning establishes distinct hot, warm, and cold zones to control contamination and protect first responder health, including a decontamination laundry, hot zone showers, and an acoustically isolated self-contained breathing apparatus fill station. Living and sleeping quarters are arranged to allow quiet rest, while maintaining direct access to apparatus bays for immediate response. A former apparatus bay was repurposed as a dedicated EMS suite with adjacent storage to meet increasing medical calls. Integrated training elements, a fitness room, and accessible facilities support resilience and department wellness. The building employs geothermal ground source heat pumps, a high-performance envelope with insulation above code, and heat recovery ventilation to lower energy demand, improve indoor air quality, and reduce municipal operating costs and carbon emissions. Located across from City Hall, the renovated station restores civic continuity, improves response safety, and provides a durable public safety asset for the community. The New York City Landmarks Preservation Commission headquarters in New York, New York, by MBB Architects, received a Merit Award in the Renovation Addition category. This 44,000 square foot renovation occupies 4 floors of the 1894 Home Life building opposite City Hall and redefines how the Commission presents itself to the public while improving operational workflow. The project centers on the high-ceiling public hearing room, where preserved Art Deco glass block walls emit daylight and reinforce historical character. An undulating ceiling and perforated wood paneling improve acoustic performance, while exposed cast iron columns were retained, fireproofed, and expressed to preserve sight lines. Programmatic reorganization distributed shared support functions such as pantries, copy and supply rooms, meeting rooms, and archives near primary stair cores to encourage movement and collaboration across floors. Removal of a drop ceiling on the 12th floor revealed additional volume and enabled a mezzanine overlooking public reception and executive offices. Accessible circulation strategies reconcile step floor heights between 2 originally separate office buildings joined in 1947, providing continuous accessible paths. Large format mural graphics celebrate the city's architectural landmarks and the Commission's work. The design balances contemporary interventions with historic fabric to strengthen the Commission's public identity, improve operational efficiency, and enhance public engagement with the city's architectural heritage. Canal Commons Supportive Housing in Rochester, New York, by Plan Architectural Studio, received an honor award in the Renovation Addition category. This 168,000 square foot rehabilitation converted an early 20th century brick masonry and timber frame shoe factory into Canal Commons, a 123-unit affordable and supportive housing community with community support spaces arranged in a J-shaped plan around a landscaped courtyard on a 1.7-acre site. Located in the Susan B. Anthony Preservation District near the Erie Canal, the project preserved original massing, fenestration, and material character while removing non-contributing additions and adapting interior volumes for contemporary residential use. A new steel and glass entry addition frames a central lobby that links Canal Street and the courtyard. The courtyard functions as a children's play area and communal amenity with carved wood sculptures and interactive displays. Interiors celebrate exposed timber framing, brick walls, high ceilings, monumental double-hung windows, hardwood floors, and period-inspired lighting to retain industrial character while creating therapeutic residential environments. Apartment plans prioritize efficiency and accessibility with 1- and 2-bedroom layouts, while generous common rooms and clear circulation support socialization and respite. Durable finishes, energy-efficient systems, and targeted envelope improvements improve comfort and reduce operating costs. Canal Commons has introduced a significant new resident population to downtown, contributing to neighborhood revitalization and providing stable, supportive housing integrated with local services. The Richard Gilder Center for Science, Education, and Innovation at the American Museum of Natural History in New York, New York, by Studio Gang, received an honor award in the Renovation Edition category. This extensive addition and reorganization establishes a new, fully accessible Columbus Avenue entrance and creates a 5-story central atrium conceived as a porous, geological-like landscape that reconnects and knits together the museum campus. Designed from the inside out, the project establishes more than 30 connections across 10 buildings, replacing dead ends with continuous circulation that improves wayfinding and operational efficiency, while integrating exhibition, education, collections, and research spaces previously sequestered behind the scenes. The atrium's shotcrete structural walls and digitally modeled custom-bent rebar cages form seamless, load-bearing arches that carry gravity loads while eliminating traditional formwork. This approach produced a continuous sculptural interior surface that emits daylight deep into the plan and frames layered views across program spaces. New public entrances, galleries, education studios, and visible research facilities bring back-of-house functions into public view and expand the museum's capacity for science communication and public programs. The design emphasizes experiential architecture to invite curiosity, supports accessible circulation throughout the campus, and makes scientific research legible to diverse audiences, while improving visitor orientation and engagement. We would like to thank this year's AIA New York State Excelsior Awards jury for their dedicated commitment in selecting this year's award recipients. Once again, we extend our congratulations to each of the AIA New York State Excelsior Award recipients. We now recognize individuals whose distinguished service and significant contributions have been acknowledged by AIA New York State. Please join us in honoring the recipients of this year's Professional Service Awards. These awards celebrate those who have advanced the understanding and value of architecture in meaningful ways. The first award, the AIA New York State Excelsior Award for Public Awareness of Architecture, recognizes those who have fostered greater public awareness of exceptional public architecture. This year's recipient, whose efforts have effectively promoted the significance of design to the broader public, is Frank J. Quatella, AIA. Next, the AIA New York State Excelsior Award for Design Excellence by a Public Architect acknowledges the important contributions of licensed architects within the public sector, whose work shapes our civic environment. This year's architect, whose exemplary projects within their jurisdiction have advanced design excellence in the public realm, is Christina Kiki Blazewski Charpentier, AIA. And finally, the AIA New York State Excelsior Award for a Private Sector Architect honors an AIA New York State member in the private sector who has demonstrated a consistent and notable commitment to the quality of public architecture in New York State. This year's award goes to a recipient whose body of work reflects a sustained dedication to excellence in public design. Please join us in recognizing Mark Ginsburg, FAIA. At this time, we extend our sincere appreciation to the individuals who served on this year's AIA New York State Professional Service Awards jury. Their thoughtful deliberation was essential in recognizing these accomplished individuals. Congratulations from AIA New York State to this year's award recipients for their exceptional public architecture projects and significant contributions to the field. Your remarkable achievements, a testament to the powerful collaboration of owners, architects, engineers, landscape architects, subcontractors, suppliers, and craftspeople, offer inspiring solutions for New York State.